Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, I should be on. Can y'all hear me? Okay, let me bring this up. Okay, so y'all could still hear me, right? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to be more professional and I'm learning this system, so I'm on my computer. Um, yeah, I'm trying to be more professional and learning this new system. So welcome in, tap the screen. Well, hit the thumbs up. We're gonna talk about this is Iran's chart that I have up. What you could expect coming up. So I have up Iran's progress chart. Iran does have Pluto in the ninth house this year, Uranus in the tenth house. They have an opposition with Uranus in Mars in the fourth house. So we noticed so far they've already changed leaders multiple times. With Uranus opposing the fourth house, they were meant to change the leaders. I feel like they're going to change leaders again this year. I think they have already had like three leaders. Uranus is shock, surprises, unpredictability. Opposing the fourth house with Mars there. Mars is the god of war. So they will have war this year multiple times on their soil. But I feel like the war is going to change. Why I'm saying this war is going to change? Because I feel like there's going to be other people to help them. As you can see, they have Venus next to that um, Mars. So Venus being there and Saturn being in their eighth house. Saturn in the eighth house is protection. Saturn is a malefic planet, and it is a planet of restrictions, maturity. But Saturn in the eighth house, with their ascendant this year being Capricorn, their ruler is Saturn. So this Saturn being here seems more like a protection than it does as a restriction. And that's why I'm going to say Iran will have help. Saturn will not let them lose this war. Iran will win this war. Iran also has um, Jupiter in Cancer in their seventh house. And the seventh house is one on one partnerships, it's open enemies, it's business. If you look at that seventh house, Jupiter is not in Cancer as yet, but Jupiter will be in Cancer during the summertime. Right now, Jupiter is in Gemini. This is a sidereal chart. I read Vedic sidereal. So this war is not going to stop. We're going to see this war pick up again during the summer months. Between end of June and July, the war will get more intense and Iran will win this war. Jupiter being in their seventh house will protect them. And it's going to confuse their enemies. Remember, I told you the seventh house is the house of enemies. But if you look at this position of this Jupiter, it is opposed in the 11th house with Neptune in the 11th house. The 11th house is groups of people. It's the 11th, Neptune being in the 11th house, opposite from the 7th house with Jupiter. This is going to confuse the enemy. This is giving Iran power over its enemies, and its enemies is America or other countries that are allies of America. They're going to be confused. Many people are confused about Iran right now. Many people feel like Iran doesn't have the support, or they don't have the ammunition to win this war. And that's meant to happen. Neptune in the 11th house is confusing people. Neptune is lies and illusions. So the world is going to be confused. They're going to feel like, well, how will Iran win this war? Iran doesn't have this and they don't have that. That's Neptune being in the 11th house. It's confusing everybody. And that's why everybody feels like America's going to win this war, but they're not. They're not going to win this war. They won't. And another thing that we have here is Pluto being in Iran's ninth house this year, in conjunct their second house that has K2. So in mundane astrology, Pluto represents nuclear weapons. Pluto represents explosions. This year, we could hear about a big explosion that happens. And it won't happen in Iran. I will tell you that right now. It's going to happen in a foreign place. The ninth house is distant shores, travel, foreign places. So this could be a foreign ally of America. This could be definitely an ally of America. So don't listen to these people. I don't care what Trump say on the news. It's lies and illusions. I already told you that with Neptune being there. They're going to pretend that this war is going to be over. The war is not going to be over. You're going to see between the months of June and July, specifically, June and July, something big happens. There's no peace deal. There's none of that. Ignore the news. You're being lied to. If you could control the media, you could control the people. They're lying. And you're going to see this happen over the next few weeks with them saying, oh, we're gonna have like a peace deal or this or that. Bullshit. It's not true. Please don't believe it. I'm warning you right now. Neptune being in that 11th house is bringing illusions. So I wanted to look at this right here. Hold on. I have to try to take the see. I don't even know how to. This is what I wanted to look at. So I created this today. I look at the transits in 1967 to 1969. Around that time, the Suez Canal was closed. It is 2026 now, and the Straits of Hormuz is closed. So in 1967 and 1969, Saturn was in Pisces. We are in 2026. Saturn is in Pisces right now. So I wanted to bring history and astrology to show you that things repeat. Nothing is new. Nothing under the sun is new. Everything repeats. 1967 to 1969, the same things kind of presented itself. But then if we fast forward to the 1970s, where there was like an oil drought, and there was a lot of people that did not have oil, and it was a mess in the 70s. So you're going to see these same things repeat 2029 to 2031. I do not feel like this war is going to get out of hand or get really crazy until Saturn goes into Aries. Saturn is not going to go into Aries until the ending part of 2028. So, 2029 to 2031, get ready for the war to be really, really bad. Right now, we're in the beginning stages. But when you see the year 2029 hits, all hell is going to break loose. If you look at 1970 to 1973, look at what happened. I think I could add this to the screen. Give me a second. Okay. So I gotta learn how to use this thing. I don't know what I'll be doing. So I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna go to look at this. I don't know if it's up already. Can y'all hear it? I don't know why it's not coming up. Can y'all hear me? Okay, let me know if you could hear me. Okay. So this is 1967. I went back and I looked at some of the things that happened in 1967. We're not in April as yet. So I wanted to take a look at April because we're about to enter into April. So in April 1st, in the UK, British military conscription formally ended with the abolition of the last national service requirements. Um, if you could look at 1967, look at the things that happened. Hold on, wait. By the 21st of April, they had an outbreak of foot and mouth disease that affected 400,000 animals and major agricultural crisis. So in April this year, you're going to compare it because in April, I see something happening this year too as well. Let's go back to March that happened in 1967 because history always repeats itself, usually. Not exactly. I don't feel like all of these things are going to happen around the same time that it happened in 1967. But if you go through 1967, You could see them talk about oil and you could see them talk about war. Obviously, not in the same month, not in the same months that we're having it right now. But if you look at the transits from 1967 to 1969, some of it looked the same. In the month of May, Nigeria got independence, triggering the Nigerian Civil War. Do I feel like we will have a civil war this year? 100%. Yes, I do. I do feel like we're going to have that. Will it be in Nigeria? Not necessarily. It could be in another country. If we go to June, what happened in June? They had the 6 Day War with Israel. Like, look at 1967 and 1969. Some of the same things will happen this year. In June, China successfully tested its first hydrogen bomb. I've already predicted coming up, countries will be flexing their nuclear weapons. So I need you to like literally take a look from 1967 to 1969. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of these right now, but you could take a look at your on your own time and you could compare it to right now. 1967 and 1969 is almost identical to 2026 to 2028. I promise you, some of the same transits, some of the same things that happened is going to happen again. And you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. What I'm afraid of, I'm not really afraid for 2026 to 2028 because I don't feel like it's going to be that bad. I'm afraid for 2029 to 2031. That's what I'm afraid of. That's going to be really ugly. But take a look on another time. And I need you to like, you go on this website. I don't remember this website called. I think it's called Historic Newspapers blog. But look at some of the stuff that happened this year and then look at what happened during this time. Everything isn't going to happen right now because we're just in March. But you could, as the year go on, you could tick some of the things that happened. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in the same countries. It could happen in different countries. It could happen in different countries. All of these will not happen in the same exact countries, but they will happen in different countries around the world because the transits is practically the same transits. I even took a look at what year was this? 1996. I think it was 1996. No, 1994 to 1996, when Saturn was in Pisces again, there was a war. There was a Russian war. We're in Saturn and Pisces again. The same transits repeating. So look at 1994 to 1996, look at 1967 and 1969, and that's going to tell you how 2026 will play out. This war is nowhere near finishing. Please do not listen to the media. They're trying not to scare people. I understand that, but they're not keeping you informed. I want to look at Turkey birth chart. So I do feel like Turkey is going to be one of the next countries that you're going to hear in the news pretty soon. I feel like Turkey is going to be affected in this war. Turkey has the largest military in the Middle East, the largest military. They have hundreds of thousands of soldiers in Turkey. I pulled up Turkey's transits for the rest of the year. Turkey has Mars and Jupiter in their third house. Turkey is very close to Iran, extremely close. They're next door neighbors. The third house is the house of neighbors, okay? And I thought that was so funny when I pulled up Turkey's chart because I'm like, that is crazy. Mars is in their neighbor's house, and Iran is their neighbor. So, do I feel like Turkey is eventually going to step in for Iran? 100%. 100%. They're saying they're not going to do it right now if you like watch the news, but I feel like eventually they will because Mars and Jupiter is in their third house. And the third house is the house of neighbors. And it's in the trine to Turkey's seventh house. So if you remembered when I pulled up Iran's chart, Jupiter was in Iran's seventh house. Okay? I do feel like Turkey will be assisting Iran sometime this year with this war. I do. And if you look at Turkey's chart, they have Neptune in the 11th house, just how Iran had Neptune in the 11th house. And what is the 11th house and what is Neptune? Neptune is lies and illusions. They don't want people to know that they're going to work together. They are fooling the media. I need y'all to understand this. Turkey is acting like I don't want to get involved. They're fucking lying. I need you to know this. When Neptune is involved, it is lies and it is illusions. You're being hoodwinked. Do not trust the media. They're not telling the truth. Turkey has the largest military in the Middle East. Iran will win this war. Turkey will help them. Both of them have Neptune in the 11th house. That is so, I don't know, strange to me. But I was just like, let me pull up Turkey's chart for this year. Let's look at their transits. Turkey also has Rahu in their 12th house. The 12th house is foreign lands. It's foreign lands. So the foreign lands to me is America. America, Israel probably think Turkey is not going to get involved or Turkey's going to be on their side. They won't. Rahu amplifies wherever it goes. Rahu is the tail of the dragon in astrology. So this is like you see my tail, but you don't see my front. You don't know what I'm gonna do. They're tricking them. K2 is in the sixth house with Uranus there in the sixth house. And the sixth house is the house of health and work, but it's also the health of enemies. And when K2 is in the sixth house, you're crushing your enemies. You're devouring your enemies. They don't see this coming. They do not see it coming. So as this year goes on, you're going to see twists and turns that you do not expect. I'm going to tell you expect the unexpected because Turkey will assist Iran. They will. Turkey has Pluto in its 10th house and it's in conjunct their third house. This is showing the 10th house is the leader in a mundane chart. This leader will help their neighboring country. They will. So that is the insight that I have. This is almost like a freaking Lifetime movie. It's so weird. Like and people literally think that Iran and Turkey are like enemies for some reason. They're not. They're brothers. Their land is so close. It's dangerously close. You really think Turkey won't help them? Right now it's a trick. Neptune here is tricking us. Turkey is going to support them. They will win this war. You will see this war kick off a lot in the month of July. July is going to be the month. End of June to the end of July. That's going to be the month when the shit hits the fan. Do I feel like 2026 is going to be an awful year? No, I don't feel like it's going to be as bad as we think it's going to be. I feel like April is definitely going to be a horrible month, a horrific month, if I'm being honest. And then it's going to be calm a little bit. And then between June and July, end of June to end of July, you're going to see some shit you've never seen before in your life, ever. And probably in your parents' life, you've never seen. You're going to see war 2.0. You're going to actually see a physical war happen. And then it's going to die down a little bit. And then 2027, ending part of 2027, you're going to see them start drafting people for this war. America is going to lose this war, and it's going to be embarrassing. They're going to start drafting people, maybe even starting from 17 years old. Because what's going to happen is Turkey military is so big that even if they lose people, it's not really going to affect them. They have like over 500,000 soldiers. They have one of the largest militaries in the world. And then combine that with Iran. And then other countries is going to join in. And then China, and then Russia. America is going to be a nutshell. So they're going to start drafting people from very young ages. And I know people don't want to hear this, but this is the truth. This is what I see in the charts. I've made plenty of predictions that have already came true. I even see Professor Jang is even starting to say America's gonna lose this war, and I'm like, I'm shocked he's saying that, but I'm happy he's telling the truth. I've been saying this for months. America's gonna lose this war. America will lose this war. From an astrological standpoint, and not even from that standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, and from a historical standpoint, America will lose this war. Every 250 years, a nation has to restart and rebuild. And America is about to be 250 years old this year. So her time is up. She's fallen. Another place will rise. The East is going to rise. Someplace in the Eastern world is going to rise. And then America is going to fall. She's not going to fall like how people is making it sound, like she's just going to be destroyed. And no, it's not going to be as bad as people making it sound. She's going to fall for a bit. She's not going to be a superpower anymore. China's going to be a superpower. That's obvious. But she will take a fall. And 2031, 2030, we can't really blame Trump anymore because Trump's going to be long gone. We're going to have a different leader. And I've already predicted Gavin Newsom is going to be president. He's going to be president. I don't feel like it matters who's the president, to be honest. This is just the transits that's going on. This is just the transits. Doesn't matter who's going to be president. What's going to come is going to come. It doesn't matter who wins. Will there be another pandemic? Yes. But I will tell you, the pandemic this year, I don't see them really wanting to like talk about it. It's almost like they're keeping it hidden. But what I will tell you is 2027 is when you're going to see the pandemic amplify. The pandemic is going to be a lot. Is there going to be another pandemic? 100%. Yes. There will be another pandemic. If you remember with me looking at 1967, over 400,000 animals and crops was affected in April in 1967. We're going to see that play out in this year. Famine is coming. I've been preaching this forever. Famine is coming. And not just with famine with food. I feel like famine with animals as well. And I do feel like this pandemic that's coming, they're not really going to push this to the public like that until 2027. But the pandemic, it's here. It's coming. And when I say it's here, I mean the disease is here already. They're hiding it. They're hiding it. So you have to take precautions for yourself, to be honest. We can't really wait on the media because the media tells us whatever they want us to know. Because if you control the media, you control the people. Trump has lied to us and told us Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, but then he went over there and bombed the school and bombed this and bombed that. And you already said they don't have a nuclear weapon, but you bombed them. Now you're saying they had a nuclear weapon and we destroyed everything. Stop listening to the media, please. They're fucking lying. They're lying. They are 100% lying. I feel like you need a credible astrologer. Because some of these astrologers, they lie too. They tell you what you want to hear. They don't tell you the truth. But you need a credible astrologer. If you want to listen to the media, you need to listen to news stations that's outside of the US. Maybe like BBC News or some kind of other news station that's outside of America. Because then you're going to hear the truth. Okay? But will there be another pandemic? 100%. And we could hear news about a pandemic probably in April. Probably in April. You saw a dragon when I saw Gavin. I don't think so. He's meant to be president. Gavin Newsom, I've already predicted he was going to be president since January. And I had people cuss me out on threads. I had people cuss me out. Like I could select presidents. I can't select presidents. Um, when I tell people Donald Trump is going to be the president, I had people cuss me out. They were like, no, all of the astrologers said Kamala Harris was going to be the president. I don't know where you got that from because every Vedic astrologer that I know said that he was going to be president. And I got that he was going to be president too. I don't know, but I see a lot of tropical astrologers saying that Kamala Harris is going to win. I didn't see that. Let's see what they're going to say now. But I'm seeing Gavin Newsom be president in 2028. What are the symptoms of the virus? Similar to RSV. But also, I don't know if anybody here followed me on Threads. You could go back to my January predictions. I predicted there was going to be an outbreak in the UK. And there is an outbreak in the UK right now with meningitis. And when I made that prediction, I had people attacking me, calling me all kind of names. I'm just like, okay. The meningitis outbreak in the UK, that's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. That's going to get worse, is what I'm going to tell you. I wanted to pull some cards to see what's coming up for Trump. Let's see what's coming up for Trump over the next 2 weeks. What's coming up for Trump over the next 2 weeks? Over the next 2 weeks, he doesn't want to be bothered. Trump energy is very low. His health is not doing good at all. I want to look at his chart. I have his chart saved already. Let me look at his chart. Y'all won't see his chart because I don't want to add it in. That's too much work. Let's see what's going on for his transits. Oh, this war is nowhere near being over. Nowhere near being over. I'm looking at his transits right now. Um, he has Mars, Rahu, and Mercury all in his seventh house. Baby, this is not about to be over. Uh-uh. This is nowhere near over. So Mars is at 21 degrees. When Mars hit the 22 degrees, the 22 degrees is the kill or be killed position. My boyfriend just sent me a text and said, there's gonna be a peace deal for America and Iran. Bullshit. Um, Baby, this war is not over. You're gonna see this war. I'm gonna say, let me give you some dates. What's today's date? The day 21st? You're gonna see between the 22nd to April 1st, something happens. Mars is in his seventh house of open enemies. Don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Something will happen. Mars is getting ready to change signs pretty soon. When Mars hit the 22 degrees, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on when Mars was in Libra at 22 degrees. The 22 degree is a kill or be killed position. The 28, 29 degree is an Adamritic degree. And right now, we are in this period of the Angaric Yoga. So, Angaric Yoga is obsession, um, it is aggression. This war is nowhere near over. It's not. We're in this. We're in this period of Angaric Yoga. Um, this represents fire, obsessive. This is gonna make things volatile, and this is gonna cause frustration. This is very negative. There's nothing positive about this at all. At all. So please don't trust the media. I'm telling you, anywhere from tomorrow to the 1st of April, you're going to see something very explosive happen. There's no peace deal that's coming. There's war that's coming. And then it's going to stop a little bit. But then in April, something big is coming on in the US. I don't really know what that is. I feel like this has something to do with Cuba. Something is coming on US soil in the month of April. This is with a neighboring country because it's in the third house. So this is either Cuba or Canada, but I strongly feel like it's Cuba. And then in May, the economy is going to collapse. And then July, you're going to see a big war. There's going to be an enormous war. And then it's going to die down a little bit. Then in November, you're going to see a big war. And then January, we're going to be in 2027. 2027 is not going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year for people that want to buy a home. Maybe for a short period of time because the economy is going to be so bad. I think everybody should buy gold right now if you're interested in that. Gold is down now, but gold is going to go back up. We're not going to be out of this cycle until 2032. So I see a lot of astrologers posted, Jupiter has went direct. Get ready for your life to get better. No, Jupiter going direct. That has nothing to do with nothing. I mean, yeah, if you have Jupiter in a good aspect in your chart, then yes, Jupiter can bring you some blessings. But how do I put this? Is our life based is our life based on our personal chart? Do you feel like your personal chart um is the effects of your personal chart is stronger than the effects of your country's chart? Because I feel like the effects of my country's chart, where I live, where I reside, will overcome my personal chart. Because if the country is not doing well as a whole, then how can I do well? I mean, I could do well to a certain extent, but if the country is suffering, then everybody's going to suffer, I would think. Personally, I just look at it like that because it doesn't matter if I have um, Jupiter in the 10th house and there's no jobs. Then how is Jupiter going to bless me with a job if there's no damn jobs? Do you understand what I mean? Um, what does what does it mean when the economy will collapse? That means the economy will collapse. You're gonna see the how do I put this? It's collapsing now, but you're gonna see it collapse more in the month of May. Meaning the stock market. We base the economy from the stock market. The stock market is gonna go down in the month of May. It's gonna be very volatile in the month of May. In the month of May is not gonna be good. June it's gonna get a little bit better. July is gonna be a horrible month. I told you July, the month of July is gonna be war. So there's nothing that's good gonna be in July. This year you're gonna have more challenging months than you will have good months. I'm being honest with you because I don't believe in lying to people. And I see a lot of astrologers do that. They lie to people because they don't want to I guess they say fairmonger, but they don't know the definition of fairmonger. Fairmonger means for me to put my belief on you. This isn't my belief. This is something that's in the sky. Fairmonger means to threaten you with something and to make you believe it, like make you to join a religion. That is fair mongering. I'm not trying to get you to join my damn religion because I don't have a religion. But I'm just reading the transits to you and telling you what's going on in the sky. So for you to plan your life and move forward. That's what I see. I wish everybody the best. I'm about to get off. I just wanted to try this different setup. Have a good day. Bye, guys.